Okay, what happened out here?
We were dispatched at about 5:07 this morning to a structure fire with possible occupants inside. We arrived, the structure was fully engulfed, and as soon as we were able to extinguish the flames, protect the exposures on each side that were also starting to catch on fire, we located four deceased victims inside, and at that point we maintained a defensive mode, protected the scene, the property, and then at that point the scene gets turned over to the state fire marshal's division, and they do a full investigation, and then Chief Peters can tell you further from that.
Okay, so like Chief Hagemeister said, we arrived on scene shortly after 5:07 this morning. A couple neighbors had called and heard some noises outside. They look and saw the home on fire. So 911 calls came in after that. Obviously the Dryden Township Fire Department, officers from our department arrived on scene and went from there. Like Chief Hagemeister said, we have the state fire marshal investigating this scene. We have our department here obviously investigating. We have detectives from the Lapeer County Sheriff's Department involved, along with the Lapeer County Medical Examiner. So we do have 4 apparent victims here at the scene. We don't have a cause of death on that right now. All that is under investigation. So as more details become available, you guys will be the first to know, obviously. But it's however it shapes up, it's a tragedy nonetheless. Not something that we want to come to, but obviously we want to make sure that we don't leave any stones unturned, and we get all the answers as to what happened here. So
There was some family here telling us that this was a grandmother, her daughter, and 2 grandkids.
that's what we've been told, yes.
Did they all live here consistently, or was somebody
I don't have
visiting?
a lot of knowledge to that.
Have you spoken with the family?
I have spoken with many of the family members.
What did they
here
tell
today.
you?
I can't release a lot of that. A lot of that's still under investigation. It's a pretty fluid scene, and we've got a lot of details going on here to cover. So I don't want to release anything that might not be true. And autopsies will be performed on all deceased persons here, and then we'll work on obviously some ID from there and notifying next.
Do you have approximate ages? We've been told that this grandmother was in her 80s, and she may have been on oxygen.
I've been told that.
Okay, and then her daughter, approximate age?
From what we understand, the daughter's approximate age, according to family, was 39.
And then her kids would be approximate ages of what?
I don't know for sure in teenage years,
Okay.
I believe.
Boy and a girl?
I'm not going to release that right now.
Okay.
So,
Chief, is there evidence of an explosion?
well, I mean, whenever there's a fire, I mean, Chief Hagemeister could probably explain a lot of that detail further. But we do have obviously some debris protruding out from the scene, which is not uncommon in fires, but maybe Chief Hagemeister could elaborate on that.
There is some evidence of some sort of an explosion. Again, that's part of the investigation the state fire marshal's office is conducting. We do have some debris, like Chief Peters said, that's blown out into the road across in the neighbor's yard. A little bit more than typical just from a fire. So, and we did have reports from witnesses of a boom before our arrival.
If she were on oxygen, that could be a factor. Natural gas could be a factor.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors right now, and the state fire marshal's division will determine all that. Yes.
Can you say where the bodies were found? I mean, in the location, was there any evidence that they were trying to get out of the structure? Close to the doors or?
Well, I can tell you there were 4 victims located in the residence. As far as details and locations and things like that, I can't release that to you right now. It's still under investigation.
Did they live here a while, do you know?
I do know the homeowner had been here a while. The other people that family is telling us that lived here potentially, I don't have knowledge on that.
Was the elderly lady, the homeowner then?
Yes.
Okay. So it may have been her daughter and two teenagers visiting.
I don't want to speculate.